Hey everyone, it's RandomGaming VGC here, and today we have another Pokemon Sword and Shield VGC battle for you. Today I'll be using a team, rental team provided by Nantomaster, who you've probably seen me play a few best of threes with if you've seen some of my other videos, and he's a very good player and actually recently won a online tournament with this team. So I'm definitely looking forward to trying it out. I've played a few games on Showdown, but that's it really. So it'll be interesting to see if I can pilot it as well as he can. He's smashed me with his team several times on Showdown. So yep, definitely a team that I rate highly. And although some of the Pokemon don't seem unusual, it was actually really interesting piloting it because in particular, I think the thing that stand out for me is Torkoal choice specs. If you lead something like a Torkoal Charizard, most people will target down a Charizard based on my experience because they expect something like a G-Max Wildfire or something like that. So if you can protect early on and then you get a Torkoal eruption off under Sun with stab with choice specs, you do a ridiculous amount of damage. I can really I've got so many double KOs with it, it's unbelievable. So it's a really strong start to the match. So one example is I have Torkoal Charizard against a Regieleki and Whimsicott or something, and they, they'll do Tailwind and try and Thunderbolt or something like that, Charizard down, and you just one-shot the whole team. So it's pretty good for that. And the other thing about Torkoal, it's a deterrent to Trick Room. So you see like a lot of Glastrier teams being run, and Torkoal's a great answer to that. So I think this is a really good combination. The other thing to probably point out is Cinderace has Gunk Shot, which I didn't really understand the point of Gunk Shot because I think they've got better alternatives using Iron Head, High Jump Kick, etc. But I did one-shot a Tapu Fini with Cinderace Gunk Shot. So Gunk Shot, firstly, you have to worry about its accuracy. I think it's something like 70%, but if it does hit, it can one-shot a Tapu Fini, and that's a really valuable option to have because Tapu Fini, once again, is quite often seen in the metagame. Urshifu running Choice Scarf. The only thing I think I'd probably point out for this is that maybe Nanta could have went Choice Band if we've got like Tailwind support or Max Airstream support via Cinderace and Charizard, but it does give you once again a few good alternatives in the moveset. So because you're running Choice Scarf, you're not going to run Protect, you're probably not going to run Aqua Jet. Instead, what you've got is the usual Surging Strikes and Close Combat. But then you also have Rock Slide, which is a spread move and can cause flinch. So I think even though you're very rarely going to be clicking that, having the option to do that is great. And there are a lot of Rotons around. And Rotom is firstly a good wall for a lot of like fire Pokemon / Sun teams, such as Torkoal Charizard. It's just generally a very good Pokemon, so having an answer to that's quite valuable. And then U-Turn once again gives you options to switch out if you need. The Pokemon that I've actually never used before is Tapu Lele. The one thing that surprised me about Tapu Lele is actually how frail it was, because I was thinking, oh, why do you want to focus sash on Tapu Lele? You don't often see that. You'd probably prefer it on the Whimsicott. But having seen Tapu Lele take a lot of damage from pretty much everything, it made me really realise that actually focus sash isn't a bad idea. And once again, it gives you a few options. I think the theory here is that Lele, along with another Pokemon such as a Charizard and Torkoal, can put a bit of pressure onto something like a Venusaur. So Tapu Lele should be able to do quite heavy damage onto Venusaur with a Psychic, and hence you have more answers to deal with Venusaur, who's probably likely to be spamming Sleep Powder, etc. So you don't always want to, like Charizard seems like the obvious one, but Charizard can be quite squishy, and not many people will really think about Tapu Lele and Psychic, like even though it's Psychic and Dazzling Gleam, you don't see Tapu Lele that often, and so just having another answer to Venusaur, it is a good shout. So having said all that, I'm looking forward to using this team. Before I do that, let's go question of the day. So what do I like least about Series 9 so far? So I like a lot about Series 9. The thing I probably like about it least, I've said this before, but I'm finding it more and more, is that so in Series 8, with the restricted Pokemon, a lot of people were using like rental teams, which was a bit frustrating because I feel like it lacks imagination. I mean, I use rental teams myself, but I don't think you should be using them all the time. So one of the things that I'm finding quite frustrating is that I come across like Aaron. I'm not playing that many ranked games at the moment, but I feel like every other like match, I'm going to go against one of like Aaron's Hydron things teams, which is fine because, you know, people don't always have time to build their own team. But I do feel that it restricts the imagination slightly. Like, I don't know why. I just feel like when people are following like a really specific team that they saw online, it frustrates me because I feel like that person probably isn't learning as much as they could by like trying to experiment themselves. Saying that, I do see the benefit of rental teams, so I don't want to write them off completely, but like when I borrow a rental team, I've never borrowed Aaron's. I've always borrowed ones that I think, okay, I want to try this myself to see how it works, not just follow someone else. Yeah, someone else just says, you know, lead with these 2 Pokemon, and you just lead with these 2 Pokemon and just do it. You kind of want to experiment and learn yourself and how the team works. So yeah, one of my least favorite things is the amount of same teams I see over and over again. So unfortunately, that's what you're going to get when people don't always have time to build their own teams, but it is what it is. But anyway, let's get on with the actual games. Alright, got a first opponent of the day, Rhoda, rank 4726. Really a quite interesting team. Sableye, I do know a bit more about now because I ran it in one of my teams that I borrowed, and I've been using it a bit on Showdown. So I know they've got Quash, Will-O-Wisp, Fake Out, I think, as well. Maybe I don't know Sableye that well. Gastrodon, okay, let's try and think this. So one thing I've been talking about or thinking about more in my videos is that often I look at the 6 Pokemon and think on average, what does best against those in my team? But I'm now more thinking about what are they going to lead with and how do I deal with it? So does Cinderace have Iron Head to start with? Because that would be a good start. It doesn't have it. Because I was thinking that's a good check for Tyranitar. We've got Ghost Pokemon. I'm not really worried about Prio moves. I wonder if I start Urshifu. Sableye's kind of annoying, and I'm banded. Let's try Whimsicott, and then let's have. I'll put Tapu Lele. I don't really know what their last Pokemon does. I think it's Psychic type. It always reminds me of like a grass Pokemon, but I think it's Psychic. So let's see how this goes. Okay, so I was just playing around with something. So good luck, have fun. Sableye and Excadrill, so they're threatening the Tyranitar switch-in. It's quite good. I did quite a lot with weather teams. You threaten the switch-in. But my Cinderace is still going to be faster than Excadrill. I could just Moonblast. Yeah, I think this is safe. Look, I threaten. Oh, let's go for it. Let's assume they're going to fake out. Let's assume they're going to fake out, what if they just Dynamax and Quash? Oh, this is bad. Oh, okay, this is bad. I was thinking that fake out might be their best call. So what I could have done... Cinderace doesn't have Protect, this is always risky, so I think it's going to be really highly dependent on the first move. So they don't Dynamax, which is good for me, because they would have probably threatened one at knockout. So they do fake out, that's good. So my helping hand works out, and then I'll just G-Max Fireball. I think I skipped an animation there. They don't Protect, they get the knockout. Oh, they're sashed. Interesting. So what they're going to do? Iron Head into me? Yep, Iron Head, that's fine. So I unfortunately waste my helping hand, but do I really waste it because I wouldn't have got a move off otherwise? At this point, I'm going to put in Tapu Lele to prevent Sableye from doing any more prior moves. So Sableye switching would have been, a Tapu Lele switching would have been a bit smarter actually. Excadrill is obviously still threatening me, and they could just Sand Rush. So their threat now is Sand Rush, I think. What I'm going to do is I know Sableye doesn't have... They're probably running Mental Herb. They're probably going to do a... I'm gonna Airstream Sableye for the speed. Okay, they withdraw Excadrill, which I'll take. They're sending Gardevoir. Let's check what Gardevoir does. Gardevoir does a lot of damage under Psychic terrain. Gardevoir doesn't have Focus Sash because that's on the Excadrill, so that's quite interesting tech. And unfortunately, I don't do as much damage as I thought on Cinderace. Oh, I'm White Herb, aren't I? I'm not Life Orbed. So I got the Speed Boost, which is what I wanted. They're running a Citrus Berry or something. And I wonder what they're going to do. Knock off, okay. Oh, I protected anyway, that's fine. I'm Sashed, so it's actually quite important to maintain that item. So Gardevoir is Psychic and Fairy. So I think what I can do is I can probably Dazzling Gleam. I think that will probably pick out the knock-up on Sableye. And then I max ooze the Gardevoir, I think. Which gives me a special attack, which means my next attack should knock out. I don't know who's faster actually, whether it's Gardevoir or... Okay, they're doing too many switches, I think. That breaks my Focus Sash, which is good for them, I guess. I think, because I've got Max Ooze, it should just not... that plus the Dazzling Gleam should do a lot of damage. It works well with Tapu because I'm getting the speed... I'm getting the special attack boost. I one-shot Gardevoir. Gardevoir's base HP and base defense are really low. And they've got Excadrill in the back, which is probably still slow, but they haven't Dynamaxed yet. But who do they Dynamax now? Do I activate a weakness policy? I do. Okay. So here's the interesting... Yeah, so my... How fast is Excadrill? And is it faster than me under... I'm +1 speed. This is actually quite a big issue that I need to improve on, is knowing the speed calcs. Who do I have in the back? Do I have Urshifu? So Urshifu with Choice Scar should surely do good work here. I'm tempted to do Dazzling Gleam. Sucker Punch that way. Okay, I see they protect. That works well for me. I got my Sucker Punch off. Presumably they were going for an attack if they weren't protecting. Oh no! What am I doing? Why do I always forget my Psychic terrain? The two things... Oh, okay, that's going to hurt. The two things that I fall for the most... Critical hit, I think that mattered. The two things that I fall for the most are trying to Prankster into Dark and... Sucker Punch into Psychic terrain. That happens to me. So I might actually lose this match on that basis. They haven't Dynamaxed yet. Interestingly, Urshifu, am I going to be faster? I don't think I'm faster than... Kind of got to go this way, right? Oh, that is such a bad move from my side. So I need to be faster than... Okay. Oh, such a bad move. +1 Cinderace has to be faster than Excadrill. That's what I'm betting on. Yeah, I'm just Surging Strike, right? Oh, they're expecting a fighting type move. But on Dark type on the Cinderace, it's all about the speed here. The Executor Dynamax, they just want enough damage to get the knockout. But let's hope Cinderace is faster. Nope. Oh, that's bad then. Yes, it doesn't knock out. Good. They targeted the... I thought they were targeting Cinderace. And then I should just get the double knockout, and then I forgot Pyro Ball has accuracy. Yes, okay, nice. Okay, I forgot Pyro Ball isn't 100%, so I should have probably stayed with something a bit safer, like, well, what did I have actually? Actually, I didn't have any better accuracy moves, I don't think. Surging Strikes, okay, so it's 2v1 versus Tyranitar. I can obviously hit through Protect. So, even despite dodgy play from my end, I managed to do okay. So there's a couple of things I would have done differently. So obviously I didn't know Excadrill wouldn't max and had Focus Sash. Because Helping Hand was good to prevent the fake out. I could have perhaps opened up with Tapu Lele, but I would have actually probably got knocked out from an Iron Head plus fake out as well. Have they got any outs? I just want to check that I haven't done anything silly. I don't do that much damage on Cinderace. It's all about my Urshifu actually. But Surging Strike hits 100%. And also the other thing about obviously Urshifu is that I can hit through Protect. Yeah, there's no faster. They're not going to be faster than the Scarf Urshifu. There's no way. So boom. Okay, so one bad move from my part, which really nearly cost me. The issue they had in this game was that they couldn't find a good time to Dynamax. So if you think about the Pokemon they had, Sableye, Tyranitar, Gardevoir, and Excadrill. Excadrill took too much damage. I was attacking into the Tyranitar for any switches in to do damage. So I think I knocked out half its HP fairly quickly. And then also a Gardevoir, I don't know how good Gardevoir max is, but you kind of, I guess, wanted to do Expanding Force maybe, but it was too slow. So I had speed control of most of that. What it was quite important to know was that Excadrill +2 is faster than Cinderace +1, which I didn't know at the time. And that goes to show the importance of playing with these teams, is that the more you play with them, the better you know all the damage calcs. Nantomaster and I were talking a bit about this team actually, about, you know, how to deal with a Regieleki, and it all depends on like calcs. Do they Thunderbolt from Regieleki knock out a Charizard maxed? I don't know, and I haven't calculated it. So definitely you need to know your calcs when you're properly preparing a team. Like, the purpose of me doing these videos is just to practice and try out more teams and have some fun, and also to show you guys that you know, there's some of the Pokemon out there and how you might want to pilot a new team. But I definitely recommend, if you want to get really good at Pokemon or really climb high up on the ladder, if that's your objective, then to really focus on that one or two team. So let's get on to game 2 and hopefully I'll have the same success. I got a second opponent, rank 4310. They had a strange name, so I don't quite know. I didn't really look at it, but it's probably Japanese. I think most players are Japanese on Pokemon. What do we have ourselves up against? So nothing new, that's a good start. The most thing I don't like going up against is new Pokemon. Second thing is, what's the weakness policy activation? It's probably going to be Metagross Entei, because they don't have a good activation. Otherwise, like, you're not going to Spirit Break your own Moltres, you're not going to Moonblast your own Moltres, etc. So they are going to go Metagross Entei would be the obvious start. So I'm tempted to go Charizard and Torkoal to threaten that. Their alternative is Moltres and something else. Tapu Fini lead would actually be quite tough because they can obviously max Geyser. And I'm gonna bring Cinderace, and I kind of want something to properly deal with. I'm gonna go Tapu Lele and hope I get into the late game with Tapu Lele. I don't fancy bringing a Urshifu against like a Moltres, a Tapu Fini, even Clefairy. So, like, one way to potentially call this game is that if I were them, it seems unusual because Tapu Fini isn't the most like WoW Pokemon, but I would probably lead with Tapu Fini and threaten a Max Geyser. And I would probably have to switch out my Charizard so I can switch them back in for Sun. So let's see what they do. They don't. Okay. What am I predicting here? Is this a Max Cinderace game? I think I'll just do it. Get the sun damage up early. They want to probably preserve. I think they're going to put Enter in the back. Who knows? So we'll see. I should do good damage with this. There is argument for targeting down the Moltres instead. But I think the Grimmsnarl's never going to protect. The Moltres could protect. Although, to be fair, most of the time you're doing G-Max Wildfire just to get the damage off, the residual. So if I was them, I'd fake out, but I don't think they threaten Charizard that much. Because they're not +2. They might be Life Orbed. And it might be a good idea that I'm not G-Maxing into them because I'll activate Berserk. So let's see. Light Screen, that's a good shout. But I am going to get off an Eruption as well. A knockout anyway, even through Light Screen. I think there's a danger of me just sweeping through their whole team because they've maxed Moltres, so they're committed. Max Darkness will lower my special defense, which is bad. Oh, they do target the right way, so I'm locked into Eruption. But I think Torkoal has done its job already by being alive. That's not bad damage actually. Critical hit, a bit lucky there. And they're going to take residual damage on G-Max Wildfire. I'll probably target whatever's coming up next, right? If it's an Entei, I can wear out an Entei. Or Entei, even. Okay. So at this point, is there any point me switching in anything? That's the question. No. What answer do I have against Moltres? I kind of want to just burn Moltres with Max. I am going to G-Max Wildfire into Moltres, which looks dangerous, but I don't want to... Like, Clefairy might just protect, you see. Yeah, see. Because it was the obvious... Not obvious target, but it was a potential target. So, activate Berserk. I'm -1. Wow. Oh, Friend Guard, of course. So maybe that was a bad choice. I could have just played passively and thing. So now the question is, they max Airstream for speed control, that's smart. That is really smart because now they're probably outspeeding me. And my G-Max Wildfire didn't do as much damage as expected. So what's my out here? An Airstream, a max Airstream, even with +1, probably won't knock out Tapu Lele. Tapu Lele is... Oh, I'm scarfed. Sashed, sorry. Tapu Lele has good special defense bulk. So I feel fairly confident about this. I'm going to Dazzling Gleam. And I am going to... Wildfire does a lot more damage. Let's go for it. Their best bet would be to follow me. Max Darkness, oh, they do outspeed me. This might not have knock out yet. It knocks out quite. Oh wow, nice one, Charizard. You saw the speed the HP bar was dropping. That was like, oh, -1 defense, taking some solar power chip damage, and they were +1 attack. Moltres' special attack isn't that high, so that does make a bit of sense. I run Moltres myself, and I find that Moltres without weakness policy is a bit lacking in damage, unless you obviously get nasty plot. But the way that I think I played it was if they nasty plotted rather than maxed, I would have got a free eruption off. Okay, so they missed their heal pulse. So I'm in a good position for this game now. I think. They're on their last two Pokemon. I'm on my last two Pokemon as well. Clefairy is annoying. So it really does matter what their last one is. I've got probably, what, another 2 turns of Sun, I think? Or 1 turn of Sun now after this. And I've got Entei, which I can deal with, I think. I've got Psychic Terrain up. Do I want to risk a Gunk Shot hit? I kind of have to. Like, if I were them, I'd just protect. But one more alternative. Yeah, okay. But, like, I didn't want to bounce. I didn't want to Pyro Ball into that slot as well. Okay, so they know that I've got Gunk Shot. Their best bet now is Sacred Firing into my thing. Into my Whoa. Okay, I guess Sun is up. I should retaliate with good damage, I think. Oh wow, that is bad. Okay, this is looking bad now. Okay, so my obvious call is Protect. I'm hoping they don't realise I don't have Protect. So, ooh, this one's tough. So they protected already. I need my Gunk Shot to hit. Actually, I stay with Fire. I've still got another turn of Sun, right? I should be able to knock out with this damage now. So I went for a move with higher accuracy in Pyro Ball rather than Gunk Shot, and I think I can't tell if Sun's still up, but I think Sun's still up, right? Because I have 3 turns of Dynamax, and this is my last turn of Cinderace on the field. Because I needed to stay as Sun, essentially. I swear they get a double protect. Okay, that's fine. Please hit. Please hit. Yeah. I think showing the animation means it hits, right? Please knock out is the next thing. Okay, so I do knock out. And this is a tough one now. I'm hoping they just went for... Okay, they have an Earth move. That is good to know. I Sucker Punch, because that their smart choice would be to just knock out my Tapu Lele, obviously. Oh, I'm Psychic Terrain. Why do I keep doing that? Why do I keep doing that? Okay. Oh, that's a bad move. What do I do? Okay, let's start with a bounce. What is wrong with me? I actually was talking about the Psychic Terrain. Ah, jeez. Would it have mattered? I would have done more damage. I would have had like a Pyro Ball option or something like that. So they're doing Sacred Fire. Okay, now I've got Sucker Punch to switch to Dark if I need to. They might just protect, but it doesn't really matter. Because if they protect, I'll go first next time anyway. They decide to take the hit. Paralysis. I didn't even know it did. Oh no, they've got a berry. Okay. Oh, they had light screen up. I was so lucky. Okay. Here's a fun game. Let's do another bounce. I don't know if it knocks out, but I've got Sucker Punch afterwards. Oh, okay, so I should have just Sucker Punch. But obviously, I didn't know they were going to paralysis that turn. The key isn't whether they paralyze this turn. Oh, yeah, it is, sorry, actually, because I'll hit them first. I'm so lucky. And Sacred Fire missed. I don't deserve this win. Okay, Sucker Punch. Okay, I don't deserve this, but all I can say is sorry. That's all I can say for this one. It is. I played like a fool in both games by forgetting Psychic Terrain. What's that? Extreme free turn. Huh? Oh, because they were going extreme speed, I guess. Okay, they're going extreme speed. Does Sucker Punch still work if there's extreme speed? Also, if it knocks out, they deserve a critical hit as well. Oh! It doesn't work on a thing, so I need... Okay, let's do this again. Oh, Jesus Christ, why am I such a bad player? I didn't know Sucker Punch didn't work on, thing. Okay. Oh, dear. I hate myself. Okay, guys, that is one tech I didn't know. I didn't know Sucker Punch failed if you went before. I'm lucky to just get 3 bounce hits. Okay, so you know what? I'll take those wins. I even got a critical hit, though I didn't need it by then. In time with Beefy, I forgot Light Screen was up. That's the whole thing that I did forget, which was explaining why my Tapu wasn't really doing much work. And while my Wildfire didn't do as much damage to the Moltres as expected. But saying that, I'll take these wins. I definitely played badly in the second game, so yeah, I can't say. The paralysis turns didn't really matter, but they got paralyzed, they missed. They did get a crit on extreme speed, so they would have needed 3 extreme speeds or 2 crit extreme speeds, but unfortunately they didn't get 2 crits for them. So yeah, you know what, I'll take those. I'm sorry to whoever I just beat, and I'm sorry to the viewers for that poor demonstration of how to use Cinderace and Tapu Lele together. Anyway, it is what it is. I still managed to win 2 out of 2 games, despite playing really poorly. So goes to show that there is hope for you all here. So enjoy the rest of your day, and I will do one more video of Nantomaster's team because I do want to give it a bit more justice than what I showed today. But hope you enjoyed it, and have a good one. Bye bye. Hey everyone, thank you again for watching my video. If you did enjoy it, then please check out some of the other videos appearing in front of you and hit the subscribe button. Other than that, enjoy the rest of your day. Cheers.